One of the most interesting things has to do with the federal law and what is happening in the states. A long time ago, Sandra Day O'Connor talked about the states being the laboratories for democracy, and that's what's happening right now. Individual states are seeing the futility and the counterproductive nature of the cannabis laws, the prohibition against marijuana, and are moving to make these changes. Now, that has to be done on a state level only basis right now because of the Controlled Substances Act, which keeps cannabis as a Schedule I drug. And so the states can set up and maintain operations within their own states, and it's important that it stay within the states, because as soon as it gets across state lines, then you get involved in interstate commerce, and with interstate commerce then you bring the federal government in. And so until those laws are changed, it has to be done simply on a state level. There really is no choice. And even there on the state level, we recognize that the cannabis industry is in direct conflict with the federal law. Eventually that will change. We are convinced of that and are looking forward and working towards those kinds of changes. Everyone in the industry is.
So now that we're in 2015 looking forward in the industry, MRM Systems is really in a unique position. We're very much interested in supporting and helping all of the owner-operators throughout the country. Any of the states that have approved medical marijuana as well as recreational marijuana, every state's going to have their own rules and regulations that the owner-operators are going to need to sort through. So we're going to be there to provide the guidance, the compliance assessments, the training, in order to help each one of those owners know that they can sleep at night, their facilities are in compliance, and to help them and their staff to understand how to continue to stay in compliance moving forward. We also see the need for webinar type training so that people can be trained and not have to show up in an office space. So there's a lot of technology that's also, I see, that's going to be used in the compliance field in order for people to remain compliant and continue their training of their staff.
What everybody in the industry needs to recognize is that the regulations are really our friends. Even though they may be confusing and difficult and sometimes hard to implement, by having a regulated environment for cannabis, we are creating legitimacy on both a state level and a public perceptions and on a federal level. The regulations actually work to be a defense in relation to the federal government, because in the Cole Memorandum there were 8 points that were identified as, if the state addresses those points, then cannabis businesses that are compliant with those state regulations that address those 8 points, the federal government will not intervene. At least that's the direction, or they'll put that at the lowest level of priority. So that is why these regulations are so important to the members of the cannabis industry. And that's why we, in order to help the cannabis industry grow, want to help people become compliant, understand the regulations, and put them into effect in their businesses, so that we prove to the rest of the world that this industry is legitimate and functions well and provides a lot of relief on the medical side and enjoyment as far as the social consumption side is concerned.